Hello. See sun. It's a sunny day, but -17 feels like -24. That's the weather. But you see sun, you look at it and you're like, this is a bright day. It's a bright cold day, not a bright hot day. Where Papa got the country? It's so cold there. So one of you asked me to suggested for me to do a video about how to transition or move from being a student, from a student permit to a permanent resident. So that's what I'm going to do today. There's this here that I'm climbing with this school there. It's not easy. So I'll be taking you guys through. I'll be looking at the previous laws and then the new proposal. Alright, you're gonna compare the two, and then I'm gonna tell you guys, like, we're gonna discuss, not tell you. We are going to discuss on how you can move from a student permit to a residence, permanent residence. See, it's cold. So this is the Migris website, and this is where everything happens when it comes to you applying for a residence permit and anything that has to do with immigration. This is where it happens. This is the Migris website. I want to run us through this website for us to know, because it has not been updated. They still have the information of like the requirements and how you can move from a student to the work permit. To a permanent residence permit. As you can all see from here, I'll leave a link in the comment section so that you can, in the description box, so that you can take a look as well. So you have to live in Finland for an uninterrupted period of 4 years with a continuous permit. That's an A permit. That's the reason why I was so excited years back when there was this new law that international students will get an A permit even before moving to Finland, because it used to be a B permit, which is a student permit, but now international students get a continuous permit, which is an A permit for the entire duration of their studies, so they don't need to renew their permit. So previously, you get a B permit for 1 year, and you have to renew your permit every year. And after graduation, you are gonna apply for a continuous A permit. But now, for example, if my study program is for 4 years, I'm gonna get a continuous A permit for 4 years. If it's 2 years, I'm gonna get a continuous A permit for 2 years. Now, let me break it down. For example, I'm coming like for a master's program. Then I have an A permit, which is a continuous permit for 2 years. How do I achieve this uninterrupted period of 4 years? I will need to reapply for an extension of my permit for another 2 years in order to get that 4 years that will qualify me for the resident and permanent residence permit. Now, this is how it used to be. This is how it is, because there have not been any updates on Migris. This is Migris website. This is the information you can see. They are still maintaining the 4 years. But if this new rule comes into effect, which we all know that it will come into effect, it won't be 4 years. You understand? So how do you transition from a student, you being a student, to you applying for a permanent residence. It's so easy because you already have the continuous A permit. So if my program is 3 years, I'll live in Finland for 3 years. After my studies, I have to look for a job, and I'll apply for a like extension. Then you look for a job. Then after living for 1 more year, which is you combine it with the 3 years, it's 4 years. You can now apply for a permanent residence. But you cannot just apply for a permanent residence without you having a full-time job, without you having there are other requirements, okay, for you to apply. But the main thing is the number of years that you've lived here. That's the most important thing. And then the job, because they're gonna ask for your income and everything. Now let's move to the new law, the new requirements for permanent residents. Now, the number of years has been moved from 4 to 6. So there is an additional 2 years. That's why we are talking about these changes, because it's huge. Not so if I, as an international student, a master's student, I have my A continuous permit for 2 years. So after that 2 years, I need to extend it, keep extending for another 4 years for me to be able to live in Finland uninterrupted for 6 years. And not just that. According to the previous requirement, there was nothing like you demonstrating language proficiency through a language test. That's for passport. But according to this new requirement, you must demonstrate language proficiency through a language test. So this is how you transition from a from being a student to becoming a permanent resident in Finland. Now you have to extend your permit for the next 4 years, so that if you combine it, I'm talking to master students. So for bachelor student, you can do the math. You have 3 years, so you have to extend for 3 years in order for you to clock the 6 years. And while you're studying, it's a must. You have to study Finnish language as well. Or while you're working after studies, you have to study Finnish language as well. And you need to write the IKI test, which is the language test that we write here to become Finnish citizens. So now you need to write that test and pass it. So I'm done with my studies. I've extended my permit for the next 3 or 4 years. I've lived in Finland for 6 years. I have a full-time job. I have I've passed my IKI test. Now, do I have a full-time job? That's another thing. That's like it's required according to this new law. So you need to live for 6 years. You need to have the Finnish language proficiency test. You need to have a full-time job. There's another thing when it comes to this full-time job. You must have a work history for 2 years. 2 years straight. So after graduation, you need to make sure you have a job that you'll be able to stay on it for 2 years continuously. Okay. And you can also be granted a permanent residence. Like you can apply after 4 years if your annual income, if your annual income is 40,000 euros per year, annual is per year, right? So along with the 2 years work history. So for example, I've lived here for 4 years. I've had a good job for 2 years, and I still have that job. And my annual income in that job is 40,000 euros. So I'll be able to apply for a permanent residence. But if I don't have a job that like if I don't earn 40,000 euros annually in that job, then I'll need to live here for 6 years. I'll need to have the Finnish language proficiency, and I'll still need to have a job before becoming a permanent resident in Finland. So I don't know if that makes sense to us. And I really want to say thank you to the person that requested for this information, because it's very important. You need to know. So yeah, in conclusion, if I'm coming as a bachelor's degree student, according to this new law, I'm supposed to live here for the next 6 years. And the first 3 years I need to study. And after studying, I need to get a job. A job, not just a part-time job, a full-time job. And it's not as if I don't get a full-time job, if I don't get a job if I don't earn 40,000 euros annually, I'll be kicked out of Finland. No, 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 no. That's not it. You will still be extending your permit normally, having the A permit. You still have you need a job still for you to extend your permit. So at the end of the day, you will need a full-time job after graduation, because it's not as if you must apply for a permanent residence after graduation. No, you obviously need a job to extend your permit. So without a permanent residence, you still be living in Finland. You can live in Finland for the next 10 years without a permanent residence, but you need to be renewing your permit yearly, and that will cost you money. Just for you to fill the application form and submit, it will cost you hundreds of euros. And you will be on your toes, because you need to have a full-time job always. Because if you want to extend your permit on the grounds of like work, employment, you need to show proof. All right. So if you have a wife or a husband and children, that's another ball game. So imagine if you're a family of four and you need to extend your permit, all the time. You need to have a good job, you need to earn good money, and you also need enough money to pay for the application fee. So you'll be on your toes all the time. The benefit of becoming a permanent resident is that you don't like you can have part-time jobs. You are not like on your toes. You're not feeling like, oh, I need to renew my permit. You understand? I need a full-time job. You Even if you lost your job, you will not be on your toes. Okay, so you are not thinking about extending your permit. You're not thinking about immigration wahala. That's the benefit of you becoming a permanent resident. But with a continuous A permit, you will need to be renewing your permit, and not just yours, that of your family members as well, which is stressful. That is why prior to these new requirements, we were excited for international students, because just imagine you having your 3 years A permit. After graduation, you just have 1 more year to live and get a full-time job, and then you're able to apply for a permanent residence, which is good. Okay. Meanwhile, before, you need to study. If you are studying for 4 years, you have B permit, and it's after that B permit that they'll start counting, because that's when you start getting your A permit. So if you calculate it, even it's like the same. You live here for 7 years or 6 years before becoming a permanent resident. But with this new law, my problem is not even the number of years you're supposed to live. My problem is you passing the Finnish language test, and also you having a full-time job continuously for 2 years. We all know about the the struggles when it comes to you getting a full-time job here in Finland. Not just even a full-time job, but for 2 years continuously. It's not easy. So I will leave a link to this website. You can read more about these new requirements, and you can also compare it with what is on the Migris website, and you can also see like if this is what you are in for, like if it's something you can navigate for the number of years. Like I said, you can navigate it, and For the employment part of it, it depends. Um, there are some career paths that you can take and you'll be able to get a permanent work contract. There are some that it's not possible. They keep giving 6 months, 1 year, 6 months, 1 year, and it's like you're so unsure. You understand about the future. So, and for the Finnish language test, if you take it serious, because universities do offer these courses for free. So when you're studying your master's or your bachelor program, you can as well study Finnish and try to take the EQ test, So it's doable, but if you are coming with your family, it's stressful because you need more money since you have more people to apply and also sustain within this period. So that's it. I hope this video is helpful to you. Please like, share with your friends, and comment below. Let me know your opinion about these changes and if this is something that you want to navigate. Okay. So see you next week and God bless you. Bye.